Now, at least 31 people have been killed and scores of others injured in Russian strikes across Ukraine. This is the biggest area attack since the start of the war 2 years ago. According to Ukrainian officials, schools, a maternity hospital and shopping arcades were among the civilian buildings hit in the barrage. Ukraine's military estimates that Russia fired 158 missiles and drones and 114 of them were destroyed. Russia tried to overwhelm Ukraine's air defenses across most major cities, launching a wave of Shahid attack drones, followed by missiles of numerous types fired from planes. In Kiev, people fled to the underground metro as apartment blocks and a factory were struck. Rescue workers in Kharkiv, Zaporizhia and the port city of Odessa worked to free those trapped in the debris. Multiple fatalities have been reported in the regions, with dozens injured, including children, as residential buildings were shelled. The attacks, which also saw a Russian missile passing through Polish airspace, triggered international condemnation and fresh promises of military support to Ukraine. NATO member Poland's armed forces said that an unknown airborne object, which they identified as a Russian missile, entered the country's airspace from the direction of Ukraine for 3 minutes.
Rakieta rosyjska wtargnęła w przestrzeń.
A Russian rocket violated Poland's airspace. Our radars traced it until it left Poland's airspace, which was also confirmed by the NATO radar systems. On the other hand, ladies and gentlemen, as technology sometimes fails, we decided to perform an on-ground verification. We sent several troops to follow the expected trajectory of the rocket to see if the radar systems were right.
Mają zweryfikować stwierdzony tor lotu pocisku, czy aby nie doszło do jakiejś pomyłki od strony technicznej.
Meanwhile, the US has declared assistance for Poland over missile incident. At the same time, according to the White House, US President Joe Biden is closely following reports of a missile temporarily entering Polish airspace. The White House added that National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan discussed the attacks in a call with his Polish counterpart Jacek Siewiera. Meanwhile, the United Nations condemned the attacks and said that they must stop immediately.
The Secretary General unequivocally condemns in the strongest possible terms today's appalling attacks on cities and towns across Ukraine. Attacks against civilian and civilian infrastructure violate international humanitarian law, are unacceptable and must stop immediately.
The United Kingdom, on the other hand, will provide Ukraine with hundreds of air defense missiles. The country's Defense Secretary Grant Shapps wrote on social media X, and I quote, "We continue to stand by Ukraine's defense, which is why today we are sending hundreds of air defense missiles to restock British gifted air defense systems capable of striking down Russian drones and missiles with incredible accuracy." End of quote. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.